Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday. I hope you guys have had a good start to your weekend and that you had a good week as well. And I mean, just watching that video back, certainly the giveaway is at the end when I'm not even making any shape with my mouth, but my voice is continuing. I thought, and some people said, maybe a couple of people said, oh, is he miming this? That's my album track. That wasn't a live performance there. It was from a technically live when I recorded myself and then recorded myself again. I had to take the footage from that video because people wanted to hear Paris Nord on the live streams, and I said I didn't have a video. And then they said, well, use the footage, which I did from the kind of 2-take version that I did, and it was an absolute pain in the you-know-what in order to try and sync it up to, you know, at least get the timing right. But I'm going to click on this, and I don't know if this is the right video or not, so let's see. And can I... oh, you can still hear me. I'm just going to have a look at this to see if this is the right video that I took the footage from. Hello, Phil here, obviously. This is going to be my acoustic version of one of my... there you go. So yeah, that's the footage that I used. So that was the other version when I played the acoustic guitar. And I think I did record it, then me harmonizing with myself after doing that take. So anyway, there you go. Just for, I think maybe some people who are new to the channel, given the recent videos and all that kind of stuff, and especially I know that YouTube, you know, has gone a little bit crazy with it, and other channels have been doing lots of other videos, but you know, I've left that all behind now, moving on with what I do. But yeah, I was just thinking that imagine people come to my channel and they think that I'm saying that that was live. And the fact that it's an electric guitar and I'm obviously playing an acoustic, and I'm not even playing the same thing. But anyway, people might not have spotted that. So, as you guys know, total honesty and openness on the channel. That was purely to look at a moving image while listening to my album track. But maybe next time I'll play that acoustic version that I took the footage from. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, getting into the live stream. Hello, you guys in the live chat room. I can see you in there. And we have Sue, Christine, Kurs, you just for music, Chant of the North. Oh, Cindy Ann is going through too quickly. And Sam says, laugh out loud. No selective miming now. Ha 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 ha. So yeah, that wasn't any selective at all. That was, yeah. And it wasn't even technically miming, because when I recorded that, I wasn't miming, but then it's just something that happened, you know, a couple of years later, people wanted to listen to that song, and I had nothing to put with it. I did initially just have a still picture, but that wasn't particularly interesting to look at. So yeah, I thought I'd just do that video for it. So, oh, let's keep giving a shout out. We've got Jennifer, Julesy, Anna, Jan, Tato, Glenna, Ed, Vera, Allison, Johannes, Just for Music, Pink Thistle, Kathy, B, Gail, Tammy, Sue, Bob's in there as well. So yeah, thank you for that. Oh, and Sab's going through again saying, I'm kidding, you've blown up YouTube everywhere. So yeah, thank you for that. And I am aware that other people have, people have been linking me to videos, and this is the thing about, you know, I just did my analysis video, and then obviously when it's then questioned, I will do a reply to that to show that generally any questions that people have about my analysis videos, if there is a common question that comes up, I will then do another analysis video to show, you know, and hopefully explain things a little bit more clearly as to, you know, what some people are saying, or the question that they have, or the statement they might be making is untrue because of, you know, and then I explain it. When it's something that is either denied, or I'm called a liar or dishonest and all this kind of stuff, and my integrity is being questioned about the videos that I make, then I will always respond to that. So that's what I did in my last one, and just, yeah, I'm just leaving it behind. I know that other channels are mentioning me, and I'm getting lots of emails from people saying, oh, did you see this video? Did you see that video? Did you see this video? But I'm not watching any videos because I've got other requests to get through, and that's all it was, just an analysis video that seems to have blown up, but it doesn't really change the results of the analysis. It is what it is. So anyway, let's get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. You know who you are, and it looks like the order, I don't know why it does this sometimes, but I'm going to tell you about gremlins that have been happening this week. Unbelievable gremlins, and that's going around in a different order. I'm just going to leave it as it is. It will get through all the names of my patrons, who are the foundation of everything that I do. So a massive shout out to you guys. Thank you for all of your support. And let's get the likes goal up on screen as well. And while I remember, let's get the likeometer. There it is, 285, which means we're looking for 300 more people. So, easy maths tonight. That was perfect timing, so maybe we can get a spike of the lights going on. If you could hit that thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated, because if we hit that target, which would be a new record, I believe, for the channel for a Saturday night live stream, if we get to 585 likes, then we will bust out the guitar and have a jam to whichever track Joe has sent me over on Patreon. So when I do my jams at the end of the live streams, they are fully live. just to point that out, that yeah, I am playing the guitar, and we just see what happens. And I mean, the more I think about it, the more I think, well, I should be throwing in more wrong notes, but certainly recently I've been throwing quite a few in. But just to show that it is fully live, just throw in some wrong notes when you're playing a guitar solo so that everybody knows. So yeah, we'll be doing that fully live, and we do that in every live stream. And this is it, that I haven't, pre-recorded a solo or anything, but Joe can tell you that he just sends me the track, for the live stream. He's not sending me tracks, weeks in advance to then work out a solo and pre-record it and then, not actually play it live. So we will be doing that later on. So that'll be Phil Jam number 178. So there you go. There's 178 jams on the live streams. That's quite a lot of them that have spanned quite a long time. But yeah, if we do hit that target of 585, we'll see what happens. So as always, and I'm going to bring this up on screen, you don't have to donate during these live streams or any time. You don't have to donate for an analysis video. Just make a request in the comment section or send me an email, and yeah, I'll add it to the list. So yeah, you don't have to donate, but I know that some people can't resist donating. And for those people, I think it's important that they know between 40 and 65% goes to YouTube through the Super Chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal. And there's a PayPal link in the description below. But as I always say, you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. And introduce yourself into that live chat room. That's how we all get to know each other. On a Tuesday and a Saturday, we live stream at 11 p.m, always the same time. So there actually is going to be a change to the live streams, not next week, or actually maybe next week. I asked everybody over on Patreon whether I should move the live streams or whether we should skip them. And I think, especially with everything being so crazy recently, and I'm still catching up with the emails and the messages even over on Patreon, so I've still got to get through all of those. But with it being so crazy recently, I might actually, I think this is probably the first time I've ever done it, I might actually take my patrons' advice of just having a live stream off. And it's probably going to be, not next Tuesday, the Tuesday after, because I'm working on a side project at the moment, and with that side project, it just means that I'm having to designate a little bit more time to it, and I'm not going to be here to do live streams, but I will be able to live stream. But yeah, because of obviously juggling lots of things at the same time, it's probably better just to skip one thing to focus on one thing, and then get back to things once everything's organized. And I know that in the description below, I think there's still what do you call it? I've lost the word for it, but I can't believe my brain is not giving me the word, but it's when you sign something. Lots of people sign something. I'm going to actually go to my own video here and see what it is called. And it's a petition. So there you go. I don't think my brain would have given me that word if I hadn't looked it up. The likeometer might have just gone all wrong because I was trying to see what it said in the description. So let me move that back in place. So yeah, the petition. And that's not really anything that I'm seriously keeping tabs on or anything like that. I just set it up months ago for people to, sign if they wanted to, if they had strong enough feelings about, pitch correction, auto-tune, miming, all that kind of stuff. But what I'm working on, my side project, is directly related to that, but it's something that is going to be, I don't know, it's difficult to explain without actually explaining what I'm doing. But it's a way of implementing that, but without the government kind of having to get involved, because with governmental legislation, it can take years and years and years for it to get passed or to even be heard, in different parliaments, well, in the UK, but in the USA and all the countries that would need to hear it and then change laws and make up laws about it and then enforce the law. How do you do that? So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm working on as the side project, and it's getting quite close to completion. And I started it at the beginning of the year, so it shows you how long it has taken to get as far as I have now, but I can't really say anything about it yet. But when I do, you're all going to be involved to get the word out there that this thing exists. So yeah, I'll be relying on you guys in the future, but obviously I'm still organizing everything, so I might have to change either live stream days or video days, but I'll keep you guys in the loop over on Patreon as always. So I can see that there have been donations in the super chat window, so thank you guys for those. And I'm just going to address a few. We've got Paul, who donated $5. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is, here we grow again. 423,000 subscribers. Most excellent. Shout out to Orlando from Paulie. Catch up crew for me. Have fun tonight. All y'all rock. So thank you for that, Paul. And let's bring this up on screen because we are now at 423,000 subscribers. So thank you guys for subscribing and commenting on the videos, hitting the thumbs up and all that cool stuff. It really does help the videos to get out there a little bit more. But also, it helps this live stream to get out there a bit more if you hit the thumbs up. So I can see we're almost at, there you go, 420 likes. So a good start to the stream tonight. So yeah, thank you guys for subscribing, and you will have to hit that notification bell to get notified for all of the videos, including the live streams as well. So let's shut everybody up, and it seems like the software obviously doesn't want to get rid of the subscriber count on screen. So let's see what happens when I click this off. It's now going to alternate between the subscriber count and the people cheering. Let me see if I can stop the people cheering. Yes, for some reason I could hear them that time. I don't know why. Sometimes I can hear them and sometimes I can't. Anyway, let me tell you, well, actually it will go on for longer than the live stream actually will be available for, or we'll go past midnight. If I was to tell you all of the gremlins that I've had over the last, I think, 3 days. Wednesday night is when, and this is the most basic thing known to man. I was on my Mac, and obviously I released my video on Wednesday night, and what I wanted to do was copy and paste a folder. And I know that, to technical people out there, you'll appreciate it's not the most technical thing to do in the world, and it's the kind of thing you do all the time, just copying a file and pasting it, or organizing your desktop, copying, pasting a folder somewhere else. And I went to do that, and my Mac said, you do not have the sufficient authority or something like that necessary to complete this action. And I thought, well, that's interesting, because this is my computer. I'm the only person that uses it. I'm the admin. There's only my account on the computer, so how do I not have the authority to do this on my own computer? So anyway, long story short, I had to start my computer in safe mode and actually type in terminal. I had to, and this is something that happens on Macs apparently, I had to deactivate the security that is within the Mac in order for me to then do it. You restart the computer. I could then copy and paste the folder. Once that's done, you've then got to go back into safe mode, which means starting your computer again, but holding the power button for about 10 or 20 seconds. And then you've got to go into terminal again and type in, now to engage the security again in the Mac. So anyway, the amount of time it took me to work all that out, it was, I think, 5:30 or 6 in the morning. So, bit of a pain. And after doing that, I thought, right, Thursday, I'll just relax a little bit, as much as I can. I didn't. So, what happened on Thursday was, I then started up the computer and my UX2 interface wasn't working. it just decided that's it. I'm not working anymore, which means my sound didn't work. And that was an absolute nightmare as well. So what happens with that is if there's a future update that your Mac is going to be bringing out, or I've got a Mac Studio, but even if Apple are bringing out a future update that you haven't updated yet, but if it's not going to work with your hardware, such as my UX2, it's going to stop it from working now. So even though it would work, but Apple says this hardware won't work with a future update of your operating system. So contact the developer for any new drivers. But Line 6 haven't got any new drivers. So they're stopping me from using my own interface because it won't work with an update that I'm going to make sure I don't download. So, I mean, that is crazy. So anyway, guess what the solution for that was to restart the computer in safe mode and go into security and utilities, security, and again, going into all of that. Absolute nightmare. Eventually, I sussed it out, but I had to go through. And this is another thing. Once that didn't work, because I have to do stuff every day, I then went through my Scarlett interface. And guess what? My Scarlett interface has a fault on it. So everything that I was trying to figure out, I thought, why am I not getting or not having the ability to pan the audio left and right? Like when I panned it left, it was still a bit in the right. And when I panned it right, it was still a bit in the left. And I went as far as, and my desk is a mess because I've had to just undo every lead ever, and there are a lot of leads, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I literally took the left channel from my Scarlett interface and plugged it into the amp behind me. I took the right channel and plugged it into my Fender amp so that I could hear what was happening with the panning. And guess what? My Scarlett interface, when you pan it hard left, the output from the back of it puts about 25% of the output in the other channel, which it shouldn't be doing. So there's bleed from one channel to the other. Even when you hard pan it, it will still come a little bit out of that. And I obviously thought it was my speakers, and I thought maybe it's a lead, and I went through so many things before I figured out it's a fault with my Scarlett interface. So I went through all of that, and that was before even figuring out, just getting the UX2 working. So the UX2 I got working today. So this is Saturday. So it's been a nightmare. But now everything seems to be working, and fingers crossed. I mean, the panning now is working left and right because I'm back to using the UX2, and I think everything is working as it should be because I've spent, the whole of yesterday and today trying to figure it out and get it sorted. So for the fill jam later on, we'll see what happens, but I think it is going to be okay because it's running as it should do. But gremlins galore since Wednesday. And I'm glad that now it seems like it's all working again. But it's just crazy that Apple will stop your hardware from working, saying that it's not going to work with a future update that you might not even download. So it's crazy, but I guess that's the way Apple works. It's like, that they stop your stuff from working, or they bring out a new adapter that is now not a headphone jack, it's a headphone jack in the end of their adapter that you need to stick that into. So this is it. 3.5mm adapters, RCA leads, cables. That's been my life over the last couple of days, just plugging in and checking leads and checking the left channel and the right channel, because it goes through my sub, and my sub has a fault with the right channel. So this is, you can imagine if the Scarlett interface is giving me a little bit of the signal bleeding over when it shouldn't, and my subwoofer is having a fault with its right channel. That was messing everything up. So it's no wonder I couldn't figure out what was going on. And this is all because my UX2 didn't work, but now the UX2 is working. Let's move on. So Roman says, Pegasus moved to Windows, bro. And this, I did start on Windows when I was kind of 19 or 20, so like over 20 years ago now, with Cubase SX. But when I was 27, maybe. I then moved over to Apple and Macs, and then Logic Pro 8 I think I got at that time. So I just got used to that, to the interface. And yeah, that was the problem, that I think when you're really used to something, and I have got it working again now, but I think it's just an Apple thing, that they're a little bit like this. I say a little bit like this. They are very like this, bringing out their own adapters, which means that you have to plug what everybody else is using. You plug that into their adapter, which then has this particular shape that they've made on their computer that you need to buy that adapter for. And the adapters are ridiculous, like 80 quid or 100 quid. But yeah, I mean, I don't know where that ends, because you can buy an adapter for an adapter for an adapter for an adapter for an adapter. You could just keep making them. And because you control the hardware, and this is pretty much what they do. They say, well, you've got to buy that in order to use our hardware. So yeah, unfortunately, they've got you up against the wall. So let's get back. But there you go. My Gremlin report is pretty much the whole live stream. So Karen donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Karen. The message is, greetings, Phil. I need help. Once the live stream starts, I can't join chat, but was able to before it started. Moderators, please help. So thank you for that, Karen. And I mean, I've got no explanation for that, because I can see your comment here and I can see the donation. If it were the case that you were, I don't know what it is. Is it blocked or is it hidden? I know there are different things, but because this is something that is tied into the video that I did recently, where people have messaged saying, and I've seen you guys talking, amongst each other about it, saying that I've left a comment on this person's YouTube channel. It was a singer vocal coach that I featured recently, and they said, I've left this comment, but they haven't replied. And then somebody else goes over there and they say to the person, oh, I'm looking for your comment, but I can't see it. And the other person says, well, it's definitely there because I can see it. And then somebody else comments and says, oh no, you've been hidden, which means that only you see your comments. And then other people were realizing that that's what's going on, that they can see their comments on the other channel, but when somebody else goes on the channel, all of those comments aren't actually there. So that's not the case here, because I can see your donation. And yeah, if it was a hidden thing or a blocking thing, I'm assuming that goes across the whole channel. But I mean, as you guys know, I don't do any deleting of comments and all that kind of stuff. I mean, in order to get removed from the channel or blocked or something, you've got to be really bad. So only in very special circumstances will, I think, the moderators remove anybody. So yeah, I don't have an explanation for that. It might be something to ask YouTube if you're commenting and it's not showing up. But something that I do have at the top of my window is top chat and live chat. So I guess top chat means you only get to see a few of the comments, and then live chat you get to see everything. So I don't know if that's an option that everybody gets, but that's what I'd suggest, other than contacting YouTube and see what's up about that. But I will ask the moderators to see if there is anything that's getting in the way to kind of look through the list. But I mean, they should be able to click on your name and have a few dots kind of next to it, and oh, there you go. I'm literally clicking on your name because obviously I have this power, but I've never, it's only just clicked that I do have this power. So it says, yeah, I've got the option to remove, put you in timeout, hide the user on the channel. So yeah, you're not hidden. So I haven't got an explanation for that. You are showing up as an absolutely normal user, and comment, and it's not something that is blocked or anything. So thank you for that, Karen. Not sure really what the solution is for that, other than maybe contacting YouTube and just telling them that your comments aren't showing on a channel where you're not blocked or hidden or anything like that. So Tortoro Porco has donated $13.99. Thank you for that, Tortoro Porco. And the message is, for every request to not donate, there is a donation. The second law of live streaming. So thank you for that. And yeah, I always say, yeah, you don't have to donate, but some people can't resist it. But obviously I do appreciate that a lot, that you do donate, but yeah, you certainly don't have to. But thank you for that. And TYKE Truckin has donated £10. So thank you for that. And the message is, love your channel, bro. With a thumbs up, and it looks like maybe 2 pint glasses next to each other. It's quite small on my screen, but I'm going to go with that. So thank you for that. And Jean has donated $25 as well. Thank you for that, Jean. The message is, Phil, just wanted to thank you for your even-handed objective analysis videos, always without malice or agenda. Now, so thank you for that, Jean. And yeah, well, everything's objective on my channel. And like I said in my last video on that particular topic, that I don't have a singing course. I don't promote my, album. I don't even do it on the live. I should probably do it on the live streams more. Giving the address to my album if you want to download my music and all that kind of stuff. But as you guys know, I say that you don't have to donate. So everything is just objective. I'm not in this to try and sell a particular course or, to try and, take other people's, custom, if they are, either a vocal coach or a guitar coach or anything like that, a guitar teacher, technically. So, yeah, everything's objective. Every analysis video is just the same. I just do exactly the same format the whole time. We go through it, we see what's going on, and then we reach the conclusion at the end through the factual data that shows what is fact and what is fiction. So, anyway, yeah, thank you for that, Gene. And Long Island Hillbilly has donated $99.99. So thank you for that. And Joe goes through, you usually forget, even plug of the mug. So I do. I don't even mention my merchandise on my own live streams. So yeah, I'm not, I don't know, for a marketing executive or something, they would say, they'd be shouting at the screen saying, yeah, promote your merch and promote your music and do all this and do all that. But it's just not something that comes naturally to me, I guess. But there you go. There's a plug of the mug. And there is a tray underneath this video, or there might be a tray underneath this video. If there isn't, there's a link in the description below for the merchandise if you want to go there. And that's something. Yeah, somebody emailed me about spring.com not delivering something very quickly. And I don't know whether that's a common thing or not. But again, this will be something that I have to look into when I have less time. Looking at the merchandise, and if it is the case that it's taking a very long time to be sent out, then I'll think about changing it so that it's more convenient for you guys to order something and you get it in a reasonable time. So yeah, anyway, thank you for that, Joe, but also Long Island Hillbilly for that very kind donation. And the message is I think that says just a single word. So thank you for that. And Karen's just popped in again with a $10 donation. Thank you for that. The message is, I was able to chat until the live stream began. At any rate, greetings to everybody. I can't join you, but want you to know I appreciate the greetings to me. Thanks for all you do, Phil. So thank you for that. Yeah, and again, I have no explanation for that, why you'd be able to comment, because there's technically nothing different. If you're a blocked user, for example, then I'm sure you wouldn't be able to comment anyway, and that you'll be, but then to suddenly be able to donate and leave a message, I'm sure that that's not something that, if the account was blocked. Yeah, like I've said, I mean, it puzzles me. I don't know. I'll have a chat with the moderators and see if we can figure out what is going on. But thank you for letting me know. Now, there have been donations over on PayPal as well. I'm just seeing if this is actually displaying them. Oh, yes, here we go. So it is Chuck who donated £2, and this was back on Wednesday after the last live stream. So thank you for that, Chuck. And that is a straight up donation. And then we have another donation that came through from Cindy for £50. So thank you for that, Cindy. And the message is, hi Phil, so you have an upcoming trip away related to your secret side project, and I've heard they are auditioning for the new James Bond. Coincidence? He'll take his orange squash, shaken, not stirred. So thank you for that, Cindy. And no, I'm not auditioning for James Bond. I don't think the world is ready for a James Bond with this haircut. So yeah, Not going to be doing that, and I'm not doing the theme either, unfortunately. It would be fun to do one, but there are much more famous artists. Generally, I think what they do is pick an artist who's very well known or on trend at the time in order to do the Bond theme. I don't think they're ever going to pick somebody who is an independent artist who isn't, on billboards and all that kind of stuff. But I've said before in the past, that's how I like it. I'm absolutely fine doing things how I do things. But yeah, thank you for that. Right, let's move on to the next one. Sue has donated £25, so thank you for that, Sue. And the message is, hi Phil, we were laughing in the live chat room on Tuesday because cartoon Phil's language is so colourful in the Phil tunes. That got Cindy, Elaine and me wondering, what is real life? Phil's favourite swear word. You don't have to come out right now and say it. We'll totally understand if you just drop hints. But inquiring minds want to know. So, I mean, generally, I don't really swear. There's, ruddy heck. I do say things, and this is just through a lifetime of not swearing at home and just being brought up that way. That if my mum was to hear me swearing, then there'd be a fate worse than death that you'd have to pay. So yeah, I just got creative with it and said things like, ruddy heck and naff off and all that kind of stuff. So just innocent, because my mum would still give that same reaction of being offended, but I wasn't really saying anything. It's just the way that I was saying the non-swear words as if they were swear words. So yeah, I don't use words like that regularly. I guess my view on it is that when you're having a discussion with somebody, and say that you're having an argument, I'd like to say maybe a heated debate, if you're using words that aren't making your point, it means that they're filler words, which means you're needing to use other words to try and make your point rather than your point being enough. So this is what I think when people are having a discussion and they start using swear words, you think, well, you're now losing the debate, or you're not making your point, because the words that you should be using should be explaining your point. That they shouldn't be expletives, because all of that is just space that you're filling to try and put across your point that you're not making well enough, so you're having to put in other words. So yeah, that's it. And I mean, the problem with that is it's always a sign of an emotional reaction, and as difficult as it is, I think when you are having a discussion, especially about really serious things, you've got to try and be as objective as possible in order to find a resolution, because whenever you have a debate and people get emotional about it, you're not seeing the other person's point of view. You're not empathizing with their point of view. And if you do start, cursing, swearing, all that kind of stuff, or insulting each other, that's only got one end, and that is conflict. So yeah, it's just the way that I've been brought up, but also my view on discussions and objectivity and accepting other people's points of view, but understanding how you have to take on their points of view, but also as a two-way street. And that's the only way you can resolve anything. And literally resolve any conflict. Both sides have got to be that objective and think, right, let's put the emotions aside. Let's discuss just objectively what we want to happen, and see where we can find a middle ground. But obviously with the world as it is, unfortunately, that's not happening. And it seems like, if anything, the human race is going the other way, that they're getting so emotional, and it's just past, I think maybe past the point of no return, sadly, in some parts of the world, where as you guys will know, I mean, you just got to turn on the news nowadays and you'll see multiple conflicts going on, and it is absolutely crazy. And this is why watching the news isn't something that I'm particularly fond of doing, because it's so depressing that the world has got to that stage. And it's I don't I know that people will see it as political, and I don't do that on my channel, but very depressing the way that it is in the world at the moment. Anyway, let's move on. So thank you for that, Sue. And Tracy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tracy. The message is, hi Phil, when you wrote your original songs and recorded your covers, did you easily know how to sing each harmony part? The Beatles were apparently able to do it automatically and their harmonies were fantastic. Was it like that for you as well? Congrats on 423,000 rock. So thank you for that, Tracy. And for singing, for harmonies, because I learned to play the guitar by listening. I didn't learn to play music through reading. It was hearing the language and then speaking the language. So that's what I was always attempting to do through my guitar. So I think your ear just attunes to it. So when you get a note being held, you know the other notes that go with it. So you can just put in the harmonies, and especially when you're doing covers, you find, you can just hear it. You don't have to see it written down. You can hear the notes that are going on. You can hear the high harmony. You can hear the low harmony. And let me just look. Yeah, so Carry On Wayward Son. That's up for the cover vote tonight. And I can see it's in the lead. But for that kind of song, listening to it and trying to hear the harmony lines, that's all it is. And then once you can hear them, then you can replicate them. So yeah, it's something that is automatic for me. I don't know if it's automatic for everyone. I know that people learn to play and sing in different ways, and some people do learn to read it first and then don't necessarily have that natural ability to be able to tell, oh, the note is this note, or that note should be that note. They have to kind of look at it and read it and go, oh, right, that should be that note, because it's a process of elimination that they've learned to do through reading and writing, rather than just hearing it and doing it. And yeah, I'm very much somebody that works with music as sound, and that's how I prefer to work, rather than needing somebody to write it all down for you. I think it's a lot more efficient to just be able to hear it and then play it straight away. So thank you for that, Tracy. Right, we've had another donation from Vera, so thank you for that. And the message, that's for £7.29. Thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, I have a question I can't seem to find the answer to concerning your original songs, Amelia, Unwanted Stranger, and Paris Nord. Some have told me the lyrics are based on real life experiences, and some are curious about that, like I am. Can you please give us a yes or no answer? I am not asking for details, just a yes or no answer to satisfy our curiosity. Congratulations on your ever-growing subscriber count. Hugs, Vera. So thank you for that. And I mean, I think I've answered this multiple times in previous live streams over the years, but Amelia, more of a general thing, not about a particular person, but just general life experience. Unwanted Stranger was, something that was personal, but not my personal story. And I don't have permission to relay that personal story of somebody else's. So I can't say anything about that. And Paris Nord, again, that's not a story. It is a made up story that I made up. But so it's not a true story. It's just something that happened in Paris Nord when I went over to France and Paris with this. I mean, this is going to make it sound really weird, but it wasn't weird at all. The inspiration to write the song was from the train station called Paris Nord, and that was it. It was just an idea on that. And I was with my second guitarist, Griff, and we were watching Winger live in France. So it was nothing to do with Griff and I, but it was just an idea for a song. And that's how that idea came about, just purely from the name of the train station. So there's nothing more than that. And then thinking about what would be an interesting story to have, and the whole, I think there are loads of movies like that where somebody gets on a train and they leave and all that kind of stuff. So it just came from that. It's not a true story at all, apart from actually I was at Paris Nord once. So there you go. And I mean, it probably came from having time to think about it while being there, because we missed our train, unbelievably. It's not that unbelievable, because, we weren't that organised, to be fair, and we didn't realise things were a lot further than we realised when we looked on the map. They looked very close on the map, But then when we got to France, we realised, okay, walking from the station to then the hotel to then the winger gig is a very, very long way. So that's why we missed our train. But then we got the next one. It wasn't too bad. So anyway, there you go. Thank you for that, Vera. And Tammy has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi, Phil. Congratulations on hitting 423,000 subscribers. You're the best. Rock. So thank you for that, Tammy. And Lisa W's donated £10 as well. Thank you for that. The message is, congratulations on 423,000 subscribers. I told you the floodgates were opening. So thrilled to see you making a real impact on the musical education of so many. Don't you know that you are a shooting star? And then in brackets, bad company. Rock on! So thank you for that, Lisa. And we've had a donation of £10.93 from Craig. Thank you for that, Craig. And that is a straight up donation. And Gordon has donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Gordon. And the message is, 423,000 subscribers can't be wrong. Keep up the objective analysis videos, and to heck with those who can't or won't separate feelings from facts. We all always learn from your cogent breakdown and your insights as well. So thank you for that, Gordon. And Angela has donated £18.22. Thank you for that, Angela. The message is, good evening, Phil. Question: why do guitar picks have different thicknesses to them? Does it really make a difference in sound? Congrats on 423,000 subscribers. Reach for the stars, Angela. So thank you for that. And yes, this is something I've explained before in live streams, so I'll keep it very short. So with really flexible picks, when you hit the string, if you imagine in slow motion, you get a recoil. So it kind of hits the string and it bends because it's thin and then recoils the other way like that. So it means that if you're looking to then pick the string again quickly and your pick has just hit the string and now your pick is kind of bending away, it means that it's going to take longer to come back to hit that string. So more often than not, and I mean, most of the time, when you're doing alternate picking and it might be a bit faster, you want a thicker pick. Because if you imagine that a thicker pick, as it goes past the string, it's not got any softness or recoil to it. So as soon as you pick the string, it's now ready to alternate pick it the other way. So you're not getting this kind of wave going on. You've got a nice, solid pick to be able to pick a lot faster. So with a thicker pick, it means you're going to get less of that recoil, but also with a thinner pick, you're going to get a softer sound. But if you're playing with a very thin pick, for example, you can never make that sound aggressive because it's only got so much to it. It's going to be too thin. But you can play lightly with a thicker pick. So this is why I use about 1 millimeter around there. So basically, I think I've got maybe a 1.1 millimeter pick as well. So I use a relatively thick pick, and a lot of people do use 0.83, for example, of 0.83 of a millimeter. With that, I mean, it's a nice balance between the two. I did used to use that actually quite a lot when I was teaching, but when I started to get a little bit more aggressive for my style of music, for hard rock and all that kind of stuff, I then went to 1 millimeter because I found that I could play softly with that just by lightening the grip on it and being quite careful with it. But then when you want to get aggressive, you can just hold that pick more firmly and then start picking and do alternate picking, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I find that with a thin pick you can't play aggressively, but then with a thick pick you can play aggressively and you can play softly if you want to. So thank you for that, Angela. Right, Julia's donated £20 as well. Thank you for that, Julia. The message is, hi Phil, how do you stop writing a song? In other words, when do you know when a song you've written is finished? So thank you for that. And I mean, this is a question that I think probably most people struggle with finishing their songs, or just saying, right, that will do. I think it probably gets to a point where you might just be finished with it. You think, look, I can't spend any more time on this. And yeah, what I find is having, especially when I was doing my album, having a deadline. And once you've got a deadline, it means that you try and, I mean, first of all, the songs were the songs, because, you know, I've been gigging with those songs for years. So I decided which songs I wanted out of the set and then put those on an album and, you know, was recording them. And I think it's just the same with being, you know, a producer, having your producer hat on and thinking, you know, at what point do you call it a day of production? Because you always feel like you can add something or you can make it sound a little bit better. And this is the other thing about producing. It's the same as, you know, singing and playing the guitar and, you know, improving. You improve your skills as a producer, you know, the more you do. So the older you get, the better you get at producing. You think, oh, should I remix that song or that album, or should I get it remastered and all that kind of stuff. So I think having a deadline, and that's something that I did with my album. Actually, I totally remixed it after doing it the first time that I released my album. Yeah, then a few years later I thought, oh, it just could be so much better. So then I did a whole remix of the album. But anyway, yeah, having that point at which you say, right, I'm going to finish then, or I'm going to release it on this date. It means that you've then got to decide, right, I'm going to finish it by that time, and then that is it, and then you move on. So yeah, that's how I would say, give yourself a deadline. But I think generally when you're happy with the song, then yeah, just call it a day and move on to another one, because yeah, otherwise you know, being indecisive about it is the hardest thing, because then you could have a song that you never ever finish for your whole life. So at some point you've got to just get it down, get it on an album, put it on your website, and just say, right, at least it's out there now and it's done. But anyway, thank you for that, Julia. And Beth has donated £20. Thank you for that. And the message is, hi Phil, sorry to hear about your gremlins. What is your Scarlett interface for? Best Beth. So thank you for that. And the Scarlett interface is basically something that, like with a computer, you might have a USB port or a USB-C port and all this kind of stuff, or a headphone jack. You've got things that you can plug into your computer, but if you've got the end of a microphone, for example, an XLR lead, that doesn't go into your computer. So what you need is an interface. So the interface is like a box that allows you to plug your microphone into that, and then out of the interface comes a USB lead. So that then goes into the computer. So it means that you can now connect music stuff to your computer. So an interface allows you to do that. So my UX2 has got, jack inputs for guitar, it's got XLR inputs, and the Scarlett interface. So again, that's an interface. It's just a different make and model, and it's different manufacturer that makes it, but it does the same thing. So it means that I plug in, like this microphone is plugged into it at the moment. That's why you can hear my voice, and the guitar that we will be having the Phil Jam later on. So thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring that happens. The guitar that I plug in at the end of the live stream, that's going through my Scarlett interface as well. So yeah, it's just something that allows you to connect stuff into to then get it into your computer, because you can imagine that computers, like just PCs and Macs, they can't have an input for a microphone, an input for a guitar, and an input for USB-C and USB 2 and USB 3 and all these different things, because the computer would need, and headphone jacks and all this kind of stuff. You'd need a million inputs to try and cover everybody's bit of equipment that they might want to plug into a computer. So that's what an interface does. Hopefully that makes sense. So thank you for that, Beth. And Alice has donated £10. Thank you for that, Alice. The message is, hi Phil, your integrity and honesty are refreshing in this crazy online world. For Phil's sanity, we should all agree not to request analysis videos of any performances by either Taylor Swift or Beyonce. Phil does not need to be attacked by either group of fans who cannot be reasoned with, even when proof is presented to them. Keep up the good work. So thank you for that, Alice. And well, yeah, this is it. I did an analysis video on, actually, that I think it was one video that had two videos as part of it, but that was Taylor Swift that I was looking at, and one of the performances was actually pitch corrected, but it might have actually been auto-tuned, because I had an email from an angry fan who said, you said that she used pitch correction on this live performance, but she didn't, because the audio I've got is exactly the same as the audio on the crowd footage that you analysed. So I then said, well, if it's exactly the same, that means that she was using auto-tune live, because it was calibrated to, a 440 standard pitch equal temperament. So I think the fan didn't realise that what she was saying was potentially even more damning of the performance, because Taylor might have been performing live and then it might have been post-edited, but this would then prove that it wasn't post-edited, it was literally the microphone that was doing the tuning, or should I say the auto-tune unit, whatever they might. I think it's Antares is the most popular auto-tune unit that they use, or is commonly used in the industry. So yeah, but that was, I think, years ago now. So it wasn't, since she's made over $1 billion from one tour. So yes, it gives you an idea of ticket prices and how much artists are charging for them, which is absolutely crazy. But anyway, thank you for that, Alice. Right. And there have been other donations in the super chat window, so thank you guys for these. I want to make sure that I don't miss any. Enrico Palazzo has donated $20. Thank you for that. And the message is, have you heard of Joel Land's album Hourglass with his AOR/power metal band Millennium? I think it's his very best singing. A bit cheesy, but so catchy. So thank you for that. And no, I haven't. So yeah, it's something that I'll have to maybe have a listen to, but thank you for that. And Sue has donated $9.99. Thank you for that, Sue. And the message is, in New Jersey, swearing is like vibrato. It's there for expression. So thank you for that. And Elaine's donated $5. So thank you for that, Elaine. And the message is, what would you say if you stubbed your toe? And I have stubbed my toe many times, and actually quite badly in the past. And yeah, and it's my big toe. And anyone who's properly stubbed their toe will know that not only is it very painful, but unfortunately, and this was the case in my case, I don't want to mention what happened, but yeah, it is probably too disgusting to imagine. But the good thing is that nails grow back, so it was fine in the end. So if I stubbed my toe, generally what I did then was I literally didn't say anything because of the pain. So I think I just held my breath. And what happens if I'm in a lot of pain, I hold my breath, and I think it's just a natural reaction of my body to hold my breath and apply loads of compression behind my vocal cords. So it kind of goes like that, and you hold all of that tension because of the pain. So yeah, my first instinct isn't ever to think of a word, because there's too much pain going on to think about, oh, I'm going to say something. So yeah, if I stub my toe, there you go. That's what I remember doing. And I think I probably hold my breath for about a minute or something until the pain it never really subsides, but until it gets down to a level where you can then, maybe let out a shout or something. But again, even still, if I did that at home and my mum was in, then even letting out a shout, you still would have to be careful to make sure you didn't say anything wrong. So yeah, I still think I wouldn't say anything really. By the time I think of saying something, it's probably too late. If anything, I'm now thinking about taking my sock off, seeing what the damage is, and hoping that, it's not going to be another new nail situation. So anyway, thank you for that, Elaine. And right, we are now up to date, and we've just gone midnight, so we've got to get into this cover video. It looks like it's going to be Carry On Wayward Son. So yes, it is, with 60% of the vote. Thank you guys for voting for this as the cover for tonight, and then we'll get into we haven't got Picture Corner tonight. Troll Corner, I think maybe we'll leave that for a little bit of time, given that it's just been very busy recently. But yeah, we'll have a listen to this and then we'll get into the jam. And I'm looking to see how long it is. It's just over 7 minutes, so we'll jump into that after this. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you after. Rock. Okay, Carry On My Wayward Son by Kansas. Let's do this. Rock. Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. As I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion, I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Oh no. Masquerading as a man with a reason, my charade was the event of the season. If I claim to be a wise man, it surely means that I don't know. On a stormy sea of moving emotions, tossed around I'm like a ship on the ocean. I set the course for winds of fortune, but I hear the voices say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Carry on, you will always remember. Carry on, nothing equals a splendor. Now your life's no longer empty. Surely heaven waits for you. Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. And there we have it. That was my version of Carry On Wayward Son by Kansas, of course. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for requesting that. And Power of Love by Huey Lewis and the News. I think that was the other option for tonight's cover. But there you go. Thank you guys over on Patreon. Right. Okay, 5 minutes past midnight, which means we've got, what, a 7-minute backing track, and I'm hoping that this just all works as it normally would. So yeah, we're going to bust out the guitar. By the way, thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and ensuring that we have a full jam for another live stream. And we've now hit that new record for a Saturday night live stream, so that's great. So we will attempt to remember to do everything. We're turning on the microphone, and this is the thing about doing things live. Sometimes it can go horribly wrong. Right, we've got the gem, and try not to wreck everything as we go. Get this here. Right, click on this.
I was so skeptical.
And I'm just going to mute this advert and skip that. Right, so this is a mystical rock guitar backing track in E minor, and this is from Superior Jam Tracks, and that's the YouTube channel name. So yeah, mystical rock guitar backing track in E minor. So we'll have a listen to this and see what happens. And As you can hear, my guitar is on. We're live. We're ready to go. Let's play and see what happens. Alright, here we go. Can you hear my guitar? The guitar sounds a little bit quiet to me. Joe says, level's good. Excellent. Thought we might change there. Turn up the click. Let me see. Is that better? I don't know whether this is better or not. Oh, that was it. I thought it was going to go into something else. this is too quiet. Waiting for it to get a little bit crazy. Is that the end? Yes, it was the end. So we ended on our E. So we resolved, so it's all fine in the end. So there we have it. And that was Mystical Rock guitar backing track in E minor from Superior Jam Tracks, if you guys want to have a play along to that one yourselves. So that was the Phil Jam for tonight. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up and getting us to this place where we can bust out the guitar, have a jam and just see what happens. And thank you, Joe, for linking that to me over on Patreon. So we are going to be calling things to a close, but before we do, let me just get up to date with everything. And Karen donated $10 as well. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message was, laugh out loud, a frozen roast dropped out of my incredible late mum's freezer when she was wearing sandals. Even when it's broken, there's not much you can do about it, but it's very painful. So thank you for that. And Diamond Girl has donated $1.99, and it looks like it says thanks in a heart. So thank you for that. And just quickly over on Patreon, on PayPal, not Patreon, on PayPal we've had a £30 donation. So thank you for that, Liz. And let me just get the message with this. Oh, it says, I know you've often said on the live streams how busy your days are. Do you get to play much these days outside of the Phil Jams, even just for your own enjoyment? No, so thank you for that, Liz. And I've got an emergency guitar just down, by the TV. So it means that, if I'm watching TV, then I'll just grab the guitar, and it's not plugged into an amp or anything, but just for, playing along with adverts and stuff. So when there's a break in a TV show, there are lots of different songs and things that go along with that. So if I am for some reason watching a TV show, I might have the guitar out, but not that I watch lots of TV shows or lots of movies or anything like that. But on the odd occasion, I will have the guitar on my lap, and generally it's just the stuff that you don't need to think about, just technique of doing shapes with your hands and kind of just moving up and down the fretboard and doing all that kind of stuff, which is when you're playing fast stuff is, it's obviously, it sounds impressive, and it takes a lot of repetition in order to play notes quickly and accurately, but it doesn't need any conscious thought. It's all subconscious. So this is why if you're trying to increase your speed at playing the guitar, then a great way to do it is just to do it while you're watching TV. Just go through, and it might even be, is this still gonna, go. So doing that phrase, whatever it is, just going up and down the guitar, you can literally be sat there doing that while watching TV. Because doing that, I'm not thinking about that, so this is why I can talk at the same time. It's just muscle memory that's firing off. So, there you go. So that's something that you can practice. And then you can move it up an octave. You know, it's a bit silly, but you know, what I would say is probably to begin with, just make sure that you're doing it accurately and then kind of gradually speed up. Don't do like I'm doing, kind of exaggerating silliness. So yeah, but that's something that you can do, and always even kind of playing through and going and approaching it more like a metronome, 1, 2, 3, 4, that's just going to build up your technique and make it more solid. So anyway, we kind of got a little bit sidetracked here at the end of the live stream into guitar technique, but there you go. Yeah, that's something that I do now and again. So Karen has donated $1.99 again, and oh no, Karen, this is Karen J, who's donated $1.99. Thank you for that, Karen. And it says thanks in the heart again, and that's Karen's first super chat donation. So thank you for that. Right, we are going to be calling things to a close now, because that is the end of the live stream. Just as I say that, Thomas has donated £8 and 2 pence. So thank you for that, Thomas. And it says Phil's Jam. So there we go. Thank you for that, for the Phil's Jam donation. So right, we are going to be calling things to a close. So thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm going to be live streaming again on Tuesday night, 11 p.m. as always. So if you guys can join me then, that would be great. Same time, same place. I'm going to be here with another video tomorrow night, so look out for that one. But all that's left for me to say is try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live, and I will catch you guys at the next one. Rock!